guys,
what's up? Today we're in Wheaton, Illinois,
and we're going antiquing all night long.
All night long. We're at the All Night Flea Market at the DuPage County Fairgrounds. The parking lot is packed.
Yes.
There's a ton of people here. There's probably going to be some cool stuff.
Got my bag ready.
We could be leaving with bags of stuff.
Let's check it out.
Check it out.
So right when we walk into the flea market, we're met with good old Raggedy Ann and Andy. So we went to go investigate, and I believe like everyone that kept walking by us was basically like, it's Annabelle, it's Annabelle. And I'm like, it's Raggedy Ann and Andy. I really enjoyed seeing them. They were just chilling in a box. It reminded me of our time going to Arcola, Illinois, the birthplace of Raggedy Ann and Andy.
John Gruel, probably saying his name wrong, but he is the creator of Raggedy Ann Andy. There's a museum in Arcola. We went to it, but unfortunately it was closed. Seeing the dolls reminded me that we have to go back and visit the museum. It's a small museum, it's one room, but there's this like the history of Raggedy Ann and Andy there. And I think it's really cool to see where it started and where it's at today in pop culture. What is that?
So it's power on, but mute on.
Mute on.
And I don't want to mute it off because I don't want to get in trouble.
Well, I mean, what do you think that is?
You probably like, it probably goes like, ugh. You get points or something.
You push the buttons. Very creepy looking.
I wish I could mute it off. I don't know. Maybe it would make noise.
What is that thing?
I don't know. It's like an animatronic baby in a buggy.
Is it moving around and stuff?
Yes, it's creepy. Kind of want it.
I dig it.
Hot sauce.
Hot sauce?
Let's try it. It's spicy.
The mildest spicy?
Yes.
So Shannon said it was spicy, so I'm gonna try it. That means it's probably gonna be really spicy. Yeah, it hit you. On the back end of the tongue.
Hopefully you brought some Imodium. So we were walking around the flea market. It was pretty hot. The sun started peeking out from under the clouds. We saw a building saying cooling station. So we were like, we're in. It's too hot. We walked into that building, started looking around, and out of nowhere, I saw a Bozo Plush in a bin. I was excited. My interest was piqued. I think I was like, got excited. So I went up. The guy was like, that's a one-of-a-kind Bozo Plush. And I'm like, okay, how much? Because if you say one-of-a-kind to anything, it's gonna be a lot of money. So basically, he said, do you want to hear the story? I said, of course. If it's one-of-a-kind, I need to know. He said that this plush doll was given out to the last show that was kind of commemorating Bozo, and this plush was given out to everyone in the audience on like pretty much the last Bozo show. So I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna cost me a pretty penny, but he's in a little plastic bin, so how much is this gonna cost me? And he said, you know what, my daughter ripped a button off, so I'm gonna give it to you for $10. $10, are you kidding me? For the last piece of memorabilia from a Bozo show? Of course I had to snag it, so he's mine.
Hey, I got an important question to ask you. Are you all set for lots of fun and fabulous prizes?
So at the same booth Shannon found the Bozo at, I saw 3 Masters of the Universe toys. They weren't meant on card, but they were on card, and you don't really ever see that. I picked up the Skeletor and asked him how much he wanted for it, and he bobbled his words, and he didn't really have a number, but he said $500 for the Skeletor. That's a lot. So I set it back down, and he adjusted it the way he liked it. So I'm assuming the guy didn't want to sell those. It was just showing him off.
Spend that dollar bill.
Hey Chris, we found these for you, bro, right in your front yard.
I just found this Princess Di Beanie Baby. I remember back in the day when these were going for like hundreds of dollars, $4 they're selling this for. You think that's what pops are gonna go for in like 10 years? How they're all hype? Here's your hype right here.
We can't escape McDonald's. Every place we go, we see McDonald's. We're walking through, we found Happy Meal cardboard boxes. Flipping through them, boom, we find this Back to the Future one. It was pretty cool, brought back really good memories. I remember seeing, you know, the toys and just wanting them. Seeing that Happy Meal box brought back pretty good memories. We didn't buy it, unfortunately. I mean, it was only $2, but I mean, what are you gonna do with that? It's just cool to see it though, again.
We normally don't find video games in abundance at flea markets. We were pleasantly surprised. We walked past this tented booth and it was games galore. Every single game, any play system that you can think of. There was NES, Sega, everything. So recently I got all of my games from my mom's house, so I was on the game hunt. I started looking through the Sega and I found my favorite game ever, Streets of Rage. I had to pick it up. It was $15. Had to come home with me. It's from a store that we've been to before. We haven't done a video there. It was called Play It Retro. We were super excited to see so many games at the flea market.
So we weren't expecting to find as many NES cartridges, games as we did. I found this big box, probably 30, 40 games in there. I was going through them. They were a little beat up. Labels were a little raw. Found a Super Mario Brothers 2. Wanted to buy it. The guy wanted too much money. I didn't want to take the risk of the game not working and spend the money. You're gonna have to take that sometimes at a flea market. But when we get to the booth that Shannon mentioned, we know the guy has a store. We've bought from the store before, so we know the games should work. Takes good care of his stuff. All the games are in little sleeves, little price tags on them. He worked with me on the price of 3 games. I bought a Turtles arcade game. I think that's what it's called. I bought a Contra. That's the best NES game that I played. I love that game. And I bought a Mickey Mousecapades game. That game is just fun. It's just fun to play. You know, I remember playing that. I remember renting that as a kid, playing it. Shocked that we found so many cool games at the flea market.
Deals and steals. Got Michael Jordan pogs here. They're not all Jordan though. But check this one out. Look at that. We need a slammer, man.
Diamond Dallas Page, DDP.
Set the bag down and do it.
Always listening to Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins' Major Wrestling Figure Podcast. I don't know why we got started listening to that. It's just interesting that they always go out and look for wrestlers. I don't really buy a lot of wrestler figures, but I do like the old stuff. The rubber guys, you know, the Bendums and stuff. So we found a big old tub of these little, what do you say, they're 5-inch Bendums? I don't even know what year they're from, but we found an Al Snow, we found a Razor Ramon, we found a Stone Cold, we found an Undertaker, Mankind, and Cactus Jack. If they had Dude Love, we would have hit the trifecta of Mick Foley.
I was beyond excited to see a booth with all wrestling figures. They did have a lot of the current wrestlers. Again, we're not interested in collecting those, but they did have the Bendums, and those were in the 90s, so they had a wide variety. I think you can kind of see it on the back where it's like 95, 97, so that was basically like primetime wrestling for me. But I was really excited when I saw the Undertaker. I just had to have that Bendum. He's the best.
We looked down and there was this big blue tub of the big guys. What are those guys called, Shannon?
I think those are the LJN.
The LJN wrestlers. Everyone knows those. I remember going to my cousin's house back in the day. He had the ring, the WWF ring, and all the wrestlers. I remember you flip them and they would fly. We found a pretty decent Hulk Hogan and a pretty decent Macho Man, Randy Savage. The superpowers, man. You gotta have those. Those are like key to have if you're gonna buy wrestling figures. But they had all kinds of stuff too. I mean, we could have spent all our money there, or at least I could have. It was just cool to run into that guy. His name is Dolman Collectibles. His name was Bill. At least that's what it says on his card here. Look him up online. He has all kinds of stuff, new stuff too, which we're not really into the new wrestling figures, just the old stuff. So look him up. Tell him we said, "What's up, dude?" Wrestlers!
there was one building that was out of control hot. I saw some cool things around, but I'm like, you know what, I might just have to cut my losses here. It's too hot. As we were walking down the lane to get out of the building, I spotted some vintage Burger King elf dolls. I think they're actually puppets, I forget. I remember having them as a kid, but I just don't remember which one I had. But basically, I'm like, you know what? I gotta have these. She was asking $8 each. I only had a 20 on me. It was my last 20 at the flea market. So I went up and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just try to see if I could get this deal. So I asked, hey, can I have all 4 for 20? And she said, how about 22? And I said, I only have a 20 left. It's my last 20. You're gonna take all my money. And I pulled it out of my pocket. It was all crinkled. She's like, oh, you weren't kidding. I'm like, no, please, 20. And she was like, all right. And at the same time, Matt goes, you know what? I think I got $2. Ruining my deals and steals out here. She was like, huh? You got $2? So basically, Matt pulled out $2 and we got 4 vintage Burger King elf dolls for $22. All right, guys, we're done. We're tapping out. It is too much.
Too much. The show is huge. There's vendors we didn't get to see because this goes on and on and on. There's different vendors that we normally don't see, which is cool to see all the new and different stuff. NES games, I think they're going to have. That was a pleasant surprise.
Too many games.
Yeah. So if you are interested in an all-night Wheaton flea market, they're having another one in October around Halloweeny time.
But that one's haunted.
It's haunted Halloween. Unfortunately, we can't make it to that one. And there's bugs right in my face. I'll get them out of here. All right. But yeah, we're not going to make it to that, but you should check that one out, man. Check out ZurkoPromotions.com for all the info. They're on a great show. Like,
always.
Share, subscribe to our channel. Check out our Patreon if you want to help us fund the finds. Check out our t-shirt shop. And until the next all-night flea market video, it's not really nighttime, but
almost.
This one goes all night. We're not going to be here, though.
Well, bye. I can't do 3 to 3. My feet hurt.
Imagine working it.
Ugh.
No way,
Coffee.
dude. I'm done.
Coffee.
Is my hand like looking weird the whole time? Were we talking about games, dude?
Yeah.
What was I gonna say about the games? What'd you say?
I don't really collect wrestling figures, but
We do
it's just
now.
interesting to hear about them. I don't know. It's just interesting.
You started now, though. What do you think?
I
You think you're gonna buy more?
Probably not. Yo.
I got wrestlers. I got wrestlers.